Alright guys, welcome back to a video series that, while it doesn't get a lot of views, it does let me step out of my comfort zone for a bit. And that is the NFL predictions, which are completely fucked, by the way. Like, the more I do these, the more I'm like, God, I don't even know who's gonna... No one, even like other professional YouTube channels I watch on NFL are like, what the hell is going on? So, we're gonna go through this list, and while we do have some clear winners, this season has told us don't trust anything. So let's get started with our first game of the week, and that's tonight. Tonight's game is Saints and Cardinals. Finally, an interesting game on Amazon. Finally, after what, 2-3 weeks of just total bullshit? Yeah, no. The Saints are pretty bad. But the Cardinals are pretty worse. Now, the Cardinals do have an ace up their sleeve that this is the return of DeAndre Hopkins after his 6-week suspension. So, that could be help. That could be helpful. We're also getting Robbie Anderson from the Panthers after he basically mouthed off to his coach. So, there is that too. You also have a few other things going on the Cardinal side. But Kyler Murray is starting to show, yeah, maybe he wasn't worth the money. That could be said for the Saints. The Saints' defense is pretty, decent, but they are getting some pieces returning. It's just QB situation is a problem. Andy Dalton is hurt, and I think they're going to go back to Taysom Hill, who, I'm going to give this one shockingly to the Cardinals. Just by a bit because of the wide receiver core, and there's a bit more depth to it. But I think the Saints' defense could give them fits. Next up, we have the Browns and the Ravens. It's basically a choke bowl, people. This is a straight-up choke bowl. This is not going to be fun. This is not going to be fun. Ravens will probably get 20 points and then stop scoring and then choke the rest of the game away. Or it could be the Browns. I don't know who to pick here. I think I'm going to go slightly with the Ravens as long as they don't choke. Hopefully that Giants game made them wake up and go, oh, we should stop doing that. But after this, because next week it's the Buccaneers. So this is a game they need to pick their shit up for. Next up, speaking of the Buccaneers, we have the Buccaneers themselves taking on the Carolina Panthers. Buccaneers, you've basically shown your colors in that Steelers game. Your O-line sucks, your wide receiver core is garbage, you have no fucking run game, and Tom Brady's a bitch. But the only reason I'm giving it to you is because the Panthers are so much worse off. They are vastly way worse off than you are right now. They are straight up going into tank mode. They are going into full tank mode in the middle of the season and should have done this a while ago. The NFC South is just really the whole NFC South itself is a very weak league. It's a very sadly weak league, and I don't know what to tell you. It's just NFC South is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Anyway, but I'm giving this to the Buccaneers because the Panthers are just that awful. Anyway, moving on but there is one team in the NFC South that looks like it could be a contender behind the Buccaneers. And that's the Falcons, who are in a rebuilding year, and they're actually doing really well. They're actually not lying down and dying in a lot of these games. And they could be a potential threat. Speaking of, the Bengals got away with a win over the Saints. Joe Burrow is now starting to hit a stride. But the Falcons still look like, even though they are a rebuilding team, they could pitch a fit. This actually could be a well-balanced game between the Falcons and the Saints. I never thought I'd say that, but the Falcons are not lying down and dying, and the Bengals are actually on a move. I think they're hitting their stride. I am giving this to the Bengals, but I do think this might be actually in a pretty fucking entertaining game. Moving on now to the Lions and the Cowboys. Cowboys, you got punched in the mouth And also, Cowboys fans, you guys are really, like, just... You guys can be crybabies, you know that? Because what did I hear? All we heard during the whole series, building up to that Eagles Cowboys game last Sunday was, oh, they've never met a real the Eagles haven't met a real defense, or they haven't, Cooper Rush is 4-1, he's four game win, and we don't need Dak. We booed him off the field because he was injured. But the moment you fuckers lost, you went right back to being like, oh, if we had Dak, we'd be better. The refs were on your side. You won't beat Dak in Dallas when you play him in December. No way. Fucking hypocrites, all of you. Having said that, though, I am giving this to the Cowboys. Yeah, this is also where Dak Prescott is coming back from an injury. So, yeah, Lions, it's gonna be pain. I know you have a good offense, but your defense is complete trash. And also, the Cowboys are also going to unleash just utter hell on you for that loss over the Eagles. They're going to make a statement out of you. Next up is the Giants and the Jaguars. Giants are 5-1. They are a legitimate contender in the NFC. They can be they are a danger now. Jaguars, I do think they are entertaining. I do think that while they are an AFC South rival, they are an entertaining team, but they're not exactly good either. I'm going to give this one to the Giants, but I do see this as like I do think this is going to be an entertaining game. While I don't think the Jaguars are good, I do think they are a lot better. They are under a lot better coaching-wise this season they have the last few, I should say, especially under Urban Meyer. But I am giving this to the Giants because, yeah, the NFC East, 3 of the 4 teams are actual contenders. By the looks of it, it could be that all of that 3 of the NFC East could make it into the playoffs. Anyway, so moving on to the Packers and the Washington Commanders. Packers, y'all are fucking frauds. I called it. I fucking called it from the beginning. I fucking called it in the Giants game. Y'all are fucking frauds, and I knew the Giants were going to beat you. I should have given it to the Jets. I was even like, this is a game where you needed to right the ship because after the Commanders, it's the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, and they're going to make a fucking statement out of you the moment they see you. But you clearly don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're giving Rodgers way too much power. LaFleur clearly doesn't know what the fuck he's doing anymore. Your defense and special teams can be up and down, and God help you on the receiving core. The only reason I'm giving this to you is because, again, it's the same thing with the Buccaneers. You're playing a opponent that literally is just worse than you. But next week, get ready to get your ass stomped. Because the Bills are looking, after that Chiefs win, and they're coming off of a bye week, oh God, they are going to be happy to have you in Buffalo to have their way with you. So be prepared for that. But if you lose against the Commanders, yeah, it's now panic time after that Jets game. But now, if you lose to the Commanders, yeah, then it's really, really panic time. So, next up is the Colts and the Titans. My Tennessee Titans coming off of a bye week and ready to take on really the only challenge we have in the AFC South. Yeah, the Colts are not good, but they can be a threat if we're not good on this. Titans were also getting a new stadium. Yay. But Tennessee, I hope that bye week works. I'm giving this to Tennessee not because of bias, but because the Colts can be pretty bad. The Colts have actually had one decent game, and that was against the Jaguars. But, yeah. So I'm going to give this one to the Titans because, yeah, the Colts are still pretty bad. Next up is a tank bowl. This is a total ball of suck right here. The Texans and the Raiders. Yeah, Texans, you're pretty bad. Raiders, you have a good team. You are just coached badly. You need to fire McDaniel. You guys need to fire Josh McDaniel like yesterday. I don't know who to give this to. It's not because, oh, they're so good. It's more like, oh, these teams are so bad. I really generally don't know who to give this to because of how bad it is. Maybe the Raiders, because they have just a bit more talent, but the Texans could steal that. I swear, if the Texans win this game, then fucking fire McDaniel. It's time, like, you need to let McDaniel go. Because you are wasting talent on the Raiders. So, next up, we have the Jets and the Broncos. Yeah, Jets are outplaying, like this is the best Jet season we've seen in a long time. And this is probably the worst season for the Broncos. I'm giving this to the Jets. I really am giving this to the Jets. The Broncos defense might give them fits, but they clearly don't know what the fuck they're doing. The Jets are now up and coming, and they need this win. They need a win against the Broncos to not only hold themselves up in the AFC East, but also they are going to be running a gauntlet the next 3 weeks because they have the Patriots, Bills, then the Patriots again. If you want to win to, bolster yourself and get that morale, yeah, a win against the Broncos and Russell Wilson would be pretty good. So I'm giving this one to the Jets. I'm giving it to the upset. Next up, we have the Chiefs and the 49ers. 49ers are injured to hell and back. They still can be a pretty good threat, and I do think they are wild card potential at the very least. Chiefs, though, I am giving it to them. The Chiefs are healthy, and they're probably looking to punch someone in the mouth after that loss in Arrowhead against the Bills. So I'm giving this one to the Chiefs. Next up, we have the Seahawks and the Chargers. It all really depends on how is Geno Smith playing at this, how in the world is Geno Smith this good? I don't know. Is it the coaching from Pete Carroll? Has he always had this ability when he was with the Jets and they just never unlocked it? I don't know. But the Chargers are coming off of a win after a very boring game. They are injured. This is actually kind of even. I didn't think about it before, but this Seahawks-Chargers game is pretty well evenly matched. It's a very evenly spaced team. So this is going to be interesting, but I think I am going to give this to the Seahawks. Slightly. They're healthier, but I think that defense might shoot them in the ass. So this is a coin flip. This whole fucking season, NFL season on a whole, is a fucking coin flip. So, moving on to our Sunday night game, and that is the Steelers and the Dolphins. This is the game where Tua Tagovailoa will be coming back after his concussion. Steelers, they're coming off of a major upset against the Buccaneers. This is going to be interesting. The Dolphins have desperately needed Tua to come back, and the Steelers are really hard to tell because, the thing with the Steelers is that they could easily be, play down the competition and lose, or just be bad, or suddenly awaken superpowers. And Tua, we don't know the state of Tua at all, because, this is him coming back from a major concussion. So this is going to be... This is a tough one. I think I might give this to the Steelers. If they wake up, which I imagine that... Here's the part where they win a few games. This is the typical Steeler fashion, where they win several games in a row and hold at least a, maybe 9-8 record, and pretend like nothing's wrong and not address clear issues on paper. But I'm going to give this slightly to the Steelers. The cornerbacks are still wounded, and I don't know if Tua is going to be up to par this game. So there you go. And our Monday night game is the Bears and the Patriots. Fuck you, Patriots. I'm giving this to you. I have said this a lot. I realize I've said this a lot in my video of how much I have vehement hate for a team, but then give it to them anyway because they're playing a vastly weaker opponent. Yeah. I'm giving this one to the Patriots. Not that I like to, but the Bears are just that garbage. So there you go, guys. Those are my NFL predictions. I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.